For me, the existence of the Maine Council of Churches and the participation of the Catholic Church in the Council is one way we can respond to the prayer of the Lord Jesus in John 17, that they all may be one. That was Christ's prayer to his Father for the Church, but to me it's also a mandate to every disciple to work toward that unity, to pray for it, and to work toward it. And I see Maine Council as one of the ways we can together move toward that goal. We need to work together as brother and sister Christians to advance those areas of the gospel where we can speak with a common voice.
Mm-hmm.
I think what the Maine Council of Churches permits us to do is to speak broadly for the faith community. Not in terms so much of the particular positions that each church takes, although that's a piece of it, but to really say these are matters of faith and value that are important for the whole community.
If we are going to take our religious values and take them and reach a larger population of people than any one of us can reach alone, we need partners that we can trust. And the Maine Council of Churches has been one of those partners, as far as I know, ever since the very beginning, for you all and for our congregations especially, where we're trying to make a difference in justice making. You have been a partner that has been steady, reliable, grounded, and faithful.
I love Maine Council of Churches because of their work with environmental and economic justice from a faith community. And I love funding them from Maine Share because Maine Share is about a clean and healthy environment, fair treatment for all, and safe, livable communities.
Council of Churches is a gathering place for the religious community in Maine. It's a amplified voice of the churches, speaking on behalf of the voiceless and the marginalized people who live in our society, speaking on behalf of the poor, the prisoner, and those who are struggling to find their way.
One of the important parts of the church's mission is to speak to the larger community about how faith intersects citizenship. The church has a role in the public square. And although we fight about that a lot and say that the church doesn't have the expertise, in fact, the church has a great history and tradition of bringing the weight of theological reflection and of moral commitment to the public square. And the Maine Council of Churches allows us to bring that voice to the table. That's really important.
The voice that you speak with is a voice that I think just profoundly reflects what, whether people know it or not, their core values really are. And I think you speak directly to that and from that. And I think that really changes the conversation in every discussion that you're engaged in.
The value that the Maine Council of Churches and Jill and Eric bring to the table is that they are the constant voice of this issue as a moral issue, of this issue as an issue of justice, and it really changes the dynamic, the discussion in the room when you start talking about healthcare in terms of morality rather than simply a financing mechanism or a coverage mechanism.
In a world where much of the debate is just driven by these powerful stereotypes, and where sound bites are really how people try to propel policy these days, you guys bring a very different and a much more thoughtful voice to the discussion, and a voice that is really grounded in people's values. And you are really a refuge. Those words are a refuge for people who are weary of hate and disrespect and unkindness. And I think that you remind us when you speak of who we are.
We are all in this together. We are interdependent. We are not an independent body of people whose faith has the only answer. We need to be in conversation and relationship with a huge variety of the faithful who come at every issue from different points of view. And in that way, we can come together and grow together as well as promote justice in harmony with each other.
I think we can more effectively catch the attention of the larger public if we can say this group that represents a number of Christian communities in Maine wants to speak to you with one voice on something we consider very important to the community of people in Maine.
You will hear someone speaking from the heart in a way that is not connected to the money and to the, all of the political aspects of it, but it asks a deeper question.
You just bring tremendous value to the work of building toward social justice in Maine. Every time you, Jill, or others from the Council of Churches walk into a room, it brings inspiration into the room after you, and it, I think more importantly, brings hope.
If the Maine Council of Churches were gone, we'd have to invent it. Because otherwise, all of us as churches would have to find ways to make our voices heard in the public square. And some of us might pull it off some of the time, or around certain issues, but we wouldn't be able to be a consistent presence.
We who are Christians are better in Maine doing what we can do together than we are as a whole range of separate denominations and churches doing it separately.
The Maine Council of Churches is a part of the fabric of life, the way it should be.